Welcome to Talking Business. I'm your host, Darcey Edwards with Queen Bee Leadership Training. Talking Business is just that. We are talking business with business leaders, leaders in the community, and those who change their communities with entrepreneurship. This podcast is presented by Xpose Hope as a thank you to the business community. Catch us on all the platforms. Find us, follow us, and review us. Hi, welcome to Talking Business. I'm your host, Darcey Edwards, and today we have with us the Executive Director for Xpose Hope, Betty Campbell.
Hi.
Welcome.
So good to be here.
Welcome to your show.
Oh, it's so nice to be in my show.
Right? I love it.
Our show.
So we have some updates on Xpose Hope. Some amazing milestones have happened. So why don't you share some of the latest milestones that have happened to Xpose Hope?
Well, we've had some incredible things happening since the state has begun to open up. And as you know, we started a house and it's called Kim's Place. We don't connect it to Xpose Hope on the internet so that it's not really connected to the clubs. But everybody knows that we're the ones running it. We only have 2 beds left, so we really need more houses because there's a great need out there.
Yeah.
And the ladies are doing amazing in our house. They are working, they're going through their therapy, they're at meetings, and they are contributing back into the Hillsboro society by volunteering at different things. So it's been incredible.
Yeah.
Yes, but then we have something new coming around the corner. You know, I always have something up my sleeve.
You do.
Right?
So why don't you share this new part, this exciting news. Go ahead and share it with us.
We are about to launch an organization called Business Against Trafficking. This is going to be that opportunity for when businesses come up to me and say, we would love to help, but we don't know what to do. Right. Well, we have a 3-pronged approach to help you help us. You would become a member of Business Against Trafficking. You would get your name and business name listed on a website where people can search. So if I am opposed to trafficking, I can go there. I can find out other businesses because that's who I want to support, people who oppose human trafficking. Then you'll be able to send 1 employee from each location to learn about trafficking. And they'll take back materials to the business so that we'll have more eyes out there to learn what trafficking is, to recognize it when they see it, and know who to call and how to responsibly deal with a trafficking situation.
Right.
Plus, you'll have a great little logo for your door, or your truck, or your car that will say you are a business that opposes trafficking. The monies from from the donations to join this are all going to go to helping housing for these women. Isn't that awesome?
That's very awesome. So with that came into mind, it's a great way for businesses to do that. But when they're out in the public with their car or whatever that has that logo, the person being trafficked can say, okay, that might be a safe person, I can tell. And they'll have that training on like, okay, well, this is who I need to send you to, or this is how I can help you.
Right. How to respond. That's huge. And you want to do it in a safe manner. You don't want to put them in any danger. And You don't want to put your staff in any danger either, yourself.
Right.
So we're going to teach you how to respond. We're going to give you those little telltale signs that a person is trafficked. And we have such a huge trafficking problem here in the Portland metro area. And, we're number 1 right now for children. Number 1 in the country. So we need to be recognizing it. When children are taken out during trafficking stings, nearly all of them say that they gave signs over and over and over again to police officers, to medical people, to people in restaurants, hotels, on the street. No one saw. So we want to be a community that sees these people so that it can become a safe community, right?
Right. So I have a question for you. I know I've seen it in the media recently where there's these big halls, like in other states, I would say kind of more southern or eastern states, where they're going in, there's like 24 people, adults were arrested, and there was like 100 and some odd people that were being trafficked. How does that happen, where there's all of that happening under, our noses, so to speak? And how rampant is that across the country?
Oh, it's everywhere. It's in every community. A lot of people think it's not happening in small towns, but we have our latest statistics tell us the small towns in Oregon have a worse problem with trafficking than the larger towns. And that's telling you something, knowing how big Portland is.
Right.
So we're actually seeing a huge growth in it in small towns. And it doesn't look like people have been trained to think. It's not Huggy Bear. It's not all women on the street. Right. Most of the trafficking occurs through websites and internet, through strip clubs, through other avenues. So it's not done openly.
Right.
They'll have
that's good to know.
houses with a lot of women or a lot of children in them, and they'll move them from state to state so they don't know where they are.
Interesting. Yeah, I'm very excited to take that class and to learn all that. I mean, I'm one of those people that would probably what's going on? I want to know. I want to know how to fix this problem.
Exactly. And the problem we've had is our team knows what we're looking at when we see it. But there's so many businesses I interface with every day who wouldn't know if a trafficked woman walked into their business right now. They don't know the signs. Or they see things on the internet and they think they're real. And these are not the signs usually of a trafficked person.
Right.
So they're looking for something that really isn't happening, and we want to get the eyes on the right things. I love teaching this class. I will tell you that when I teach this, I was down in Salem teaching their parole officers. I did 3 days of training. We have parole officers in tears because they realize these are parole officers who work with our ladies all the time. And they came up to me and said, well, we've been working with trafficked people and not realized it. Because they don't tell you they've been trafficked.
Because they don't, they're specifically taught to not
Never
think
tell.
They are, right?
Mm-hmm, exactly.
Right.
So it's a difficult subject, but one that we try to have some fun with when we're teaching it. It is, the training alone would cost most businesses more than what their membership is going to cost them. Plus, they're going to get this great sign for their door or whatever. A girl will know she can come in there and be safe. We're going to be putting out ads, and it lets us, Xpose Hope can't openly talk about trafficking because most trafficked people do not believe they're trafficked.
Right.
So they will never respond to that. So we don't talk about it openly on our website, our Facebook, or Instagram, but now we will have new Facebooks, Instagrams, all of those social media things, and we're going to have a TikTok. So that we can reach out and say, are you trafficked? Call this number. So that we can help place the ladies as they come in. So we're going to be able to reach so many more people and give information to parents, to teachers, to police officers, to businesses. I am so excited about this. And we're going to have our first 100 are going to get a great big discount and some extra goodies from us. So we want to get that first 100 before we even launch the website. So if you're interested, I hope that you'll email us and let us know. And our email is Xpose Hope. There's no E at the beginning. It's X like X-rated, XPOSEHOPE @gmail.com. And you'll get a member of our staff there, and they'll tell you more about Business Against Trafficking.
Right. When is this going to launch officially?
We are hoping end of June, no later than the end of July.
Okay.
But by the end of summer, it will be in full swing. We're excited.
Yeah, well, and school let out. And so, and to bring it back to, to police officers and so forth, they have a very limited scope of time that they're actually able to see things and put together that, that's not just a runaway girl, or, that they're totally fine. Their children have been victims. I've heard those people speak, where their parent was a police officer and they were, trafficked.
There's a story that I love showing the YouTube video of. It is actually a daughter of an officer. She was actually trafficked because she was drugged one night at a party, pictures were taken, and she was told, your mom will lose her job. So you will do what I say, or your mom will lose her job. And this went on for 4 years until somebody finally broke her free. And the mother had no idea. So this happens sometimes right under parents' faces because they are manipulated to believe that people in their family will pay the price
Right.
if they do not do what they need to do.
Right.
And when you are brainwashed with that over and over and over, there's a great fear. But there's so much good being done through the businesses in this
Right.
community. I mean, we
Yes.
just brought in a young lady who actually flew from another state because there was no house there for women like her, and she needed to be free from somebody who was keeping her and her daughter captive. And we were able to do that because of so many great businesses in the Portland metro area that support us. The money that you spend to be part of this will stay in the community that you're at. So or it will stay at least in that state. So
Right.
we're launching in Oregon, Washington area. So the money will stay here. When we grow, we hope that we'll have houses throughout the country, and then it will support the house there.
That's awesome.
So it'll be kept local to help your local community.
Yeah. What can we, okay, so you're obviously not going to teach the class today, and you're not going to tell us, but is there like 3 top things like that we can just be aware of when we're out and about and kind of go and question maybe you can pick 3 things that we can look for just to make it, you're not going to learn it all today.
Yeah, you definitely won't learn it all today.
But,
well, one thing is, remember that these people don't have any control over themselves at all. Their control is by their pimp. So they are not going to have conversations looking you in the eye. They just aren't going to do that. They don't have the authority to look you in the eye. They will always look down. And they don't want you to recognize them. Most of them have missing photos out there somewhere. So they don't want you to recognize them. Looking down helps keep you out of their eyes too. So when you see somebody's eyes, sometimes that's the key that somebody will say, oh, she's aged, but I know that set of eyes from a poster, right? So they were not going to look up at you usually. They are not going to make their own decisions if they're, now while it's nice to go out to dinner and have your date order for you after you have chosen, these people are not going to get choices. Somebody's going to decide what they're eating. If they try to say, well, I really don't like fish, he's going to say, yes, she does. She's having cod, right? And so they don't get those kind of choices. Also, they're never separate. So there will always be 2 together. If they go to the bathroom, he will usually send 2 girls together so they can't run, or 2, send a girl with a child, or he will take the child. Especially if it's a child, they are never left out of eyesight. Where parents will tend to leave their children wander a little, which I really wish you wouldn't do because I see the after stories.
Yeah.
But pimps never will. Pimps will always have absolute control of that child.
Right.
Always.
Well, and on that note, they're not going to say, oh, hi, this is my pimp Bill. It's my boyfriend. It's my partner. It's my husband.
My daddy. Okay, girls will often call him daddy. Daddy, this is, my daddy, hey daddy. And the children will too. They'll be led to believe this is their new parent. Sometimes are told their parents are dead. So they'll often call them by a parental name. They're not going to act afraid of them in public. If they do, they will be beaten severely later. So try to remember what these people are going through. If it meant your life, whether you showed up in public and did something. But there are some very specific things, especially if you work in healthcare or you're a police officer, simply asking the question, have you ever been sexually abused by anyone? Has anyone ever sold you for money sexually? Is a very simple question that most of these people never get asked. One of the people I speak about in my trainings is a young girl who was indigenous. She had 7 different brushes with different medical centers because they will have high incidences of STDs, many pregnancies, lots of medical issues. She also had 5 brushes with the law, including the res police. And yet, nobody ever asked her, is anyone sexually abusing you? Is anyone harming you?
Right.
And it's a very simple question to ask. And so if you are an authority person, if you're a teacher, if you're a Sunday school teacher, it's okay to ask that question. It's okay. We need to be asking, are you okay? Are you safe? most of the people who we deal with say that if they would have been asked, they would have identified at that point. So at least try.
I love that. Okay, so it's going to launch in the last few weeks of June, early July, for Businesses Against Trafficking. Look for it. Email us for more information. And there's always a link in our podcast, in our show notes, for you to donate. Thank you so much.
Oh, I'm so grateful to be able to be here and celebrate our 50th episode with such a big launch. So help us do this, because if you join and you have one other person join, we'll have our 100 for our 50th episode.
Yes.
So that would be a great 50th episode birthday present for us. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, my name is Betty Campbell. I am the founder and director of Xpose Hope. We're an outreach to those who are sex trafficked and those who are in the adult entertainment industry. We help change lives every day. We create relationship and community. I want to talk to you a little bit about those who are behind the scenes of this broadcast and what it means to us at Xpose Hope. Lee Gochenour at Gochenour Photography. He's probably the most prolific headshot photographer in all of Hillsboro, and he's amazing. Darcey Edwards, our wonderful MC, who runs a real estate office, Edwards Realty Trust, powered by More Realty, as well as Queen Bee leadership training, and still has time to serve on the full board at Xpose Hope. And Christi Dodge at Dodge Media Productions, who spends so much time doing all of the cleanup of the video and the sound, so it sounds great for you. These people go out of their way to give back to community. If you're looking for a way to give back, we can certainly use your talents. Let us know. Connect with us at xposehope@gmail.com. And thank you to our amazing sponsors, and please utilize their services. Thank you.
Thank you for listening to Talking Business, brought to you by Xpose Hope. We can be found on all of your favorite podcast platforms, YouTube, iTunes, all of them. Also, be sure to like us, share us, and leave a comment. Who do you want to hear from? We want to know.